Good morning. Welcome to this morning's Wuxing Long Pai Taijiquan class. My name is Jeff Cote, and I am the Accidental Taoist. I hope you guys are having a great morning. We're just going to kind of get right into it, do our usual thing. It's been last 2 days have been high paced. So relax, focus in, get a nice relaxed basic structure. Feel your center line. Take a moment to take a deep breath and just kind of be where you are. Relax your spine. Just kind of keeping a general sense, no rigidity, no great yang activity at this, just a gentle central uprightness. And everything else goes with gravity. Just do that before we even begin. Place the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Kind of go through very consciously the usual things we check. Feel the triangles of the feet, the toes spreading out onto the ground. For me, I find it helpful often to just kind of wiggle my spine to remind myself to let go of everything, to be physically present, activating something first, so I can become aware of all the things that I'm already activating and just didn't notice. Place your hands on your lower dantian. You know, my approach to this work leans heavily on Yi Chuan, which is about training the mind, and the mind to deeply engage with the physical body in very basic ways. And I encourage this as your basic practice. So then I just start squaring up the frame, and I'm really just getting down to basic building blocks here, like we always do. Just feel those alignments from the ball and socket joint of the hip to the triangle of the feet. From side to side to the other, noticing whether you're pushing one way or the other, kind of get a good basic balance of that, but also the tension inside from the center line out to those right and left channels. Feel the bowl of the pelvis. Check on the alignment of the Hui Yin to lower dantian, to middle to upper, all the way to Bai Hui. Feel a sort of rectangle of these inner right and left channels as they relate to the center line. Feel the body from that bowl of the pelvis as a column and locate where those centers are, those right and left channel and the center line. And just the basic colander or cylinder rather shape. I like to break this stuff down to very simple geometry first for visualization. It makes it much easier. Feel the relationship from the front of the center of the chest to the shoulders, and from there to the matching point in the back, Shenjiang and Chenshu. Feel how that entire shoulder complex and chest envelop that middle dantian and the relationship of all those tissues all the way down and the energy between them in this basic shape of the torso. Move them back and forth. Feel from the center point there where the ball and socket joint of the shoulder is, down through the arm, the cylinder of the arm, around the bones, with that sort of extension of the marrow and the right and left channels into the hands. All the way to the fingertips. Notice the energy in the back. Try to relax it. Try to align the column, that cylinder, so well that you can just relax that low back so all the weight is distributed by the whole evenly. And give great attention to the three dantians. Anchor your sense of feeling awareness here, deep listening from here, and detached observation from here without the need to correct or fix. Just lightly observe, always keeping that gentle intention from the center for everything to stay in line, aligned, as you move through this expanding sphere. Take a deep breath in, as though the center, that lower dantian itself, expanded through you. Through the space, but also through the tissues, through the cylinders and shapes. And then as you release that, there's a natural draw in back towards the center. Just as there's a natural draw towards the center of the earth, there's a natural draw here, and we're trying to connect that to the feeling of the center of the earth beneath us. And we get rid of everything in between. And just let flow happen with your breath, with the movement and intention, that sense of natural expansion and release. And then that natural cohesion and inward draw, the tendency towards unity. Surrendering the intention more and more to the feeling. Observe where the breath and the intent to expand and push against the ground come together. Ready do something we don't often do after this next one. Take a deep breath in, but don't move. And expand on the exhale. Inhale and withdraw back inward. And then make your pushes smaller and smaller through the legs, but still do it. Get that feeling of expansion through there. And that sink as well. And just pause, adjust, try to settle down, let your bones rest in gravity, and ever so slightly gather. Just learn to let the pushing decrease while the gathering does more and more of the holding you together, sort of holding you up, holding you in position, or maintaining unity. Meanwhile, you keep relaxing into the idea of being supported. Let yourself feel where you could allow yourself to be supported more in places where it's locked down, or they're not, you're trying to use bigger muscles to support little ones. Let the little ones work. Let everything draw inward in the effort or the activity until it all unifies. And you don't feel like you're divided against yourself through holding or tension or unevenness. expand to bounce. And you're going to really feel that flowing up and down and the whole of the torso, all the channels sort of around that base structure. And then counter swing. You can probably hear my dog really wanting to come in. He decided he wanted to go out before we started with a little bit of an urgency. His timing was a little off, but he doesn't know. I apologize for that. It's part of it. He's a really good dog. He'll hang out outside and scold me later. This is what happens. Things around you distract you. So then you just gather your awareness back towards what you wanted to focus on. Column swing. Here, I'm really paying attention to those right and left channels now, and how when I press, there's this rotational quality as things activate. And I'm trying to carry that through the body into the hands. At the same time, I'm not just moving like the external energy, like what moves, how the muscles move and everything. I'm noticing that, but I'm trying to also internally have that flow happen simultaneously. It's really up and down, just letting it join with flow through. Everything's still connected. Using the power of the mind intent to connect it. We have to remember that our goal here is not the mechanical actions. The goal is unified, connected movement with the natural force and flow of yin and yang, which is that compressive, gathering energy of gravity and our own sort of unity. And expansion is intention flowing outward. and how the individual intention is a yang to everything else is yin. We're trying to connect it to everything else. Consciously, we become the conduit through which that unity expresses as an individuality. Deep stuff. So here I'm paying attention to that, the intention, and trying to direct it into every little space. And not like force, but just noticing where it's going and how the intention of the movement itself can guide it. I'm just using the power of the movement in this. And then, that's kind of sculpting it from the outside in. Meanwhile, from the inside out, I'm connecting to that natural flow. And then counter column swing. Now I'm going to combine all of the things we've been doing. If you observe and really pay attention to the sequence, they are graduated in their level of complexity. And which is why oftentimes I'll work on the beginning stuff for a lot longer, because I want to get there. I want to get where it can take me and try to maintain it through all of this. And close. Take a moment, shake it out. I'm going to go let my puppy in. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Just shake out your legs, take a moment, take a break. meditation. I have such a great dog. He's so patient and yet he's vocal, but good boy. All right. All right. Thank you. Nope. Okay. I invited that too much. Finn, come on. Good boy. Lay down. Just chill. Thank you. He's such a good dog. He's so smart. Anyways. Hands, wrists, and fingers. So if you approach it with that level of detail, that is like standing. That is Yi Chuan in motion, which is, I mean, Wuji has its own value, just standing still too. But doing that sometimes can really help you get to a place where you could stand longer. But we'll move on. Adding in the elbows. The other way. Shoulders. Take a moment, hands up, you down. Open up the inside, just relax. Just keep releasing what's being held. Fingertips lightly touching, tailbone down. Exhaling, releasing as you need to. Sometimes I feel like I just gotta make one of those 6 healing sounds from the Qigong. Oftentimes the one I'm driven to is heat. Is that release heat from the middle dantian. It's a good observation to make. So when you notice something like that, then you adjust maybe what you eat or things you do, so that energy can kind of disperse and become relaxed regularly. And we go out. I don't think you hold that too long. And then this one, just drop the shoulder blades, gently reach out. Working with the right and left channels, the center line, whole body. Just gently. And then down. See, we just do a bunch of them instead. And then rotating the shoulders again. Now working through that range of motion. notice they lift up in a particular position. I might go there. Relax the shoulders down and open. So notice right here, I lift just a little bit. So I pause there and I realign and adjust to help me relax. So now here I'm using almost like a little dragon spine to make the motion. See if you can do that, because this starts connecting some of the other advanced things. One of the things you'll learn is these are all connected. Everything we do is all connected and we're utilizing it together. And reverse. And we open and close the chest, or open and compress. So we're trying to just get those right and left channels to move even up here, right? But the energy to move in and out mechanically, and just kind of using the action to activate and open up those energies. Just, I'm always feeling all the way up and around, all the way up and around, as well as the center line. I'm also taking the opportunity to feel here between this middle Dan Chen and up to the upper as I'm doing this, because I want to use this movement to help clear the energy between mind and heart, right? And neck and shoulders. And I use this boom to send a vibration to help break up any patterns of energy that I feel and kind of experience in there. Kind of see with my listening skills. Now I'm going to connect from here all the way up through here, through this trunk twist. A slight shift back and forth that also will connect the legs up through. Okay. So it's, I'm going to just use the motion and energy. All I'm doing is I'm using my arms as an expression of this action to send vibrations where I feel like things can loosen up more. So this becomes a corrective qigong for qi flow. So what I'm doing in the back here as I'm doing this is I'm making a butterfly fist that senses if the fist is hollow. And so there's an energy of expansion, but it's not hard and contracted and tight. So it's got this like ward off energy. So I can strike quite hard without it. It's got that sort of cottony, strong intention on the outside where the tissues are being kind of pulled taut a little bit, which makes it less bony impact for yourself and lets you strike a little bit more energy and force. And at the same time, if you're paying attention to Lao Gong and how this vibration is stimulating the energy through these right and left channels, you can really activate these guys. And since they're opening and closing, you're learning to do it quickly, which teaches you how to send energy to your hands fast. Should say you have issues with them being cold or circulation from the chest into the arm is an issue for you. Patting the waist. Me, one of the things I like to do here is I also like to visualize I'm like breaking up all the damp energy, the fat that accumulates in the body, and letting my body reabsorb it and get rid of what I don't need. So it also, because the fat cells also store a lot of toxicity too, and that stays in the body. So we want to break it up. Then when we're done, we want to make sure we drink a ton of water, right? So this also helps me imagine myself lean. And so, if nothing else, I can fool myself. And I feel better about me. Meanwhile, I'm also vibrating this into all the tissues. Now I'm going to circle that daimai through motion. I'm going to take some motion and an intention, just as if it's my dantian were sort of washing around the inside of the rim of the bowl of the pelvis, just not wanting to spill any out. So getting a swirl going on in there. But I'm also feeling how that's connected to these right and left channels, the central channel up through the torso. Then the other way. Now I'm paying attention also to how that dantian reaches all the way down to let it kind of touch with that hui yin. I'm going to gently draw up on the hui yin, but I'm going to feel how that interacts with the ball and socket joints and the structures as well. And I'm trying to just move that qi all the way around, just the intention and action. And then the other way. So that way, I've kind of like moved blood and activity and my awareness and everything all the way down to the hips, the ball and socket joints of the hips, so that when I open up and go into the hips, I'm already there. My awareness and qi, I've got that jing draw, and I can feel the bubbling well point here, yin channels and yang channels of the legs, same thing on this side. And I just shift over and gently Draw it open. Make contact. Receive. Balance everything. Feel that center line. Notice what it takes, but still pull it open. Settle down into it. Shift and rotate. Come over to this side. Same thing. Just gently pull it open. Shift and rotate. And the other way. And then back over. Now we're going to rotate open and turn in. Rotating this. Back and forth. Just working with all the energy and strength around those right and left channels. And the other way back. Come on, shake them out. And then we're going to pat our legs. So shift the weight over, take as much weight off of it as you can, and really intend, right? And feel that. Try to feel that vibration all the way down, around the bone and into it. Breaking up that stagnant blood, the chi, the lymph, just getting everything loose. There's better circulation. Yeah, friction up the knee. Do the same thing on this side. Now, obviously, you don't have to hit yourself that vigorously or intensely. You have to work with what you need and what, your body. When your chi is stronger, you can strike stronger and it just vibrates more. And you can strike quicker, but you got to work with where you are, always. And small circles with the knees. Here, I always pay attention to the triangular shape of the foot. You'll notice the sort of front part of the triangle and the outer part of the triangle of the foot on each foot is more solid because it's actually got bones and all that, whereas the inner head, that inner triangle, is more yin. It's less substantial, right? It's got, and yeah, yin is more substantial too. It's hard to explain. But it's got this activity here. The support and the intention of that big toe, like the large knuckle of the big toe to the heel. And as you come down, you can feel that. It really helps you define the yin channels right up to the hui yin point, and then the yang channels from the Ming Men all the way down the legs. And as I'm circling, I'm always paying attention to the low back, keeping it open, activating all the way down to the tailbone, around the hips, down the yang to the toes, tops of the feet, and from the yin, particularly from the bubbling well, all the way up to the hui yin, up through the middle and upper dantian to the bai hui. And then I begin to also pay attention to how that's connected through the yin channels of the arms all the way to the palms. And then the yang channels from these 2 points I was working earlier. Bringing it all together. And the other way. And then deep bends. Really feeling those yin and yang channels and the yin and yang shapes and the energy and movement and support and activity through it. And how if I gently draw up on that perineum and gather the dantian, the uprightness is natural and it stays and it gets served by the motion. The energy moves in from the yang to create support. And then it pushes me up, descends. You start to feel this as a natural movement. Relax, settle down, shift into one leg, feeling the whole thing as I go into this rotation. Feeling the right and left channels of both sides. Utilizing the whole body here, just working with one side in motion while the other side provides support and stability in unity with the whole, always. And back. We take all of these principles that we do in the form, and we apply them in everything. And we can then use these practices very valuably. And the foot and ankle, extending intent, everything is connected. Okay. And brushing the grass, that same outreach and extend. Starting in the front and the other way. Then behind. Remember, when we go behind, we want that heel down so we extend. And the other way. And still. And out to the side. Oh, I gotta move, I'm kicking the screen. And back. Cross behind. And turn the spine. Back up. And up. Spine long. Knee down, heel back. And out. And around. Lift it open. Shake it out. Other side. brushing the grass. The other way. And back. The other way. Out. Side. And back. Just get back knee down. Back out. And around. A lot of this is really learning how to root in your support leg and relax. Provide support for your body to be able to let go. I think this is one of the secrets not only of Tai Chi, but of life. But if we learn how to create the support we need energetically in all ways, we can relax better. So we create good foundation, good root support. And we always work on improving that, no matter how good it gets. Realign everything. Press the knees back. Elongate the spine. And reach out. Forward as you're doing this, just creating good support for any position you might want to adopt. Always gently intending long and releasing the excess energy and heat outward.
Slowly letting go into it. And turn to one side. Don't check out. Stay with all of it. Everything we've been working with. All the awareness, all the intent, all the wholeness, unity, all the awareness of all the structures. Basic, just a basic geometry and the energy between things. Just using that geometry as a framework for feeling, for conceptualizing what you observe. You can see the engineer in me. Tell everybody I'm a recovering engineer. Can't help it. I have to take things apart and look at it in basic ways. Probably not smart enough to look at it in other ways. But it works. Gives me a really good framework for feeling, for kind of painting a mental image of what it is I'm feeling. Which incidentally, as an artist, also helps me become a better artist, which is kind of nice. Back and forth. Then we reach, we get that two dragons circle the pond. We're reaching out. Still everything's all whole and connected. Just to center, and then we drop into that squat stance. Opening up from the yin, the ground, all the way into the hui yin. Through the yin channels of the legs. Up through the center line. Yin and yang channels work to just open up the flow. We really want the chi all the way to be very free flowing from the ball and socket joints of the hips all the way to the hui yin point, the tailbone, up to the inside of the spine, as well as the spine itself. Up to the center line and ren and du channels, just opening everything up. Press up with the legs, roll the spine up. And we go into dragon spine. Just first, I'm working with these spirals to here, but still syncing this movement to it. And I'm going to really bring the intention all the way up into the arms, and that's what's going to create these circling palm exercises, or the dragon palm exercise, I should say.
And then the other way. Wow. 3-5 jings now, just rotating up and in. Rotating out and then in. And then spot. Deep breath in. And Shusha. I know today we really broke into and went deeply into that basic practices, the Taoyin and the Qigong and all of those basic movements. But it's the freedom of the body in all these articulations and in every way that enables us to express the swimming dragon and body and that sort of formless dragon energy when we're doing the form. Okay. This style is about learning to develop that. So the body is so free flowing that all of these spiral movements are very, very free. And it's a way of approaching it. There's a bunch of different ways to approach Taijiquan. This is ours. The result is a very strong, supple body with great vitality. And, I try to, if something doesn't work, I stop using it. I've been doing this for about 30 years, very close now, really close now. And these are the things of all the teaching that I got from different teachers. These are the things that stuck and helped me really kind of embody this, what I was being driven towards. So I hope you really take these basic practices to heart. They are so much more important to the complete functioning of the body in the form so that we can maximize our use of that. And I think that this kind of step gets skipped a lot in training in Tai Chi for a lot of people because they want to get onto the form. And as much as I love that, one of the reasons why it's formless dragon is to point at this idea that Tai Chi is not expressed by the form. It's expressed through it, by us. And we have to be a good conduit for that. So that's why so much focus is put on all of this. And trying to take this Yi Chuan element, the really deep Zen-like awareness of the moment, and working genuinely with the forces that present themselves, including the physical ones too, the body, muscle, and its support as part of it. We have to unify all of it. It has to all become unified. If we separate any of it, we lose Taiji. It becomes Tai Yi, separation of yin and yang. Okay. Anyways, Shosha, thank you guys very much for supporting me with all your help, donations, presence, sharing it with people that you know or care about, you think that might have value in it. I want to encourage you to keep doing that. And if you want to find a way to donate, you can go to my coffee page. That's ko-fi.com/Occidental Taoist. If you'd like some other content, I've got some other, and I got to tell you, I'm going to be 100% honest. I almost feel like I need to reshoot all the stuff I had shot and shared on Patreon because, in the last 3 years, I feel like I've improved a lot. And I look back at those things, I'm like, there's so much more I could have taught. So rather than reshoot in a sense and scrap those, I'm just going to go, I'm going to do the same materials again and take you deeper into the experience that I have with it now. And that stuff is coming out on Patreon, or will be very soon. Okay. Thank you guys very much. May you have just incredible blessings of health and longevity and vitality and a peaceful, happy heart. Thank you.